Once we were students in stats, my teacher told us to study chi-square test or we'll be failing. Once we were students in stats.
It was a hard test, but we knew we were prepared, using categorical data, otherwise known as counts. Next step to determine for the problem which test to use. Does the data fit better in one or two-way table? Once done, we structure the four-step process in order: state, plan, do, and then conclusion. Once we were students in stats. The first step to state, we must determine whole and half, otherwise known as the null and alternate hypothesis. For goodness of it, whole equals the proportions as claimed. The high equals at least one proportion doesn't match the claim, but goodness of it works only on one-way tables. For two-way tables now, use another test. Chi-square test for independence. Now we test if the categories are independent, whether or not there exists any association between the two variables tested or observed. Now we move to plan, stating tests and checking conditions. Once we check if data comes from random samples or randomized experiments, random condition was met. Once we were students in stats. Next, check large sample size. All expected counts at least 5. Expected counts equals row times column total divided by overall total. Lastly, we arrive at the independent condition where 10 times the sample number is less than population while sampling without replacement or during experiment. Random assignment fulfills the independent condition. Finally, we start do step where chi-squared is the sum of observed minus expected squared divided by expected. After, with the use of degrees of freedom and through the use of calculator, we find our p-value. Soon our test will conclude the final step of the process where our p-value is greater or less than alpha. If it is less than alpha, we will have convincing evidence to reject whole, or it is greater than alpha and we fail to reject whole, the null hypothesis. Once we were students in stats, our teacher told us to study chi-square test and we passed. Once we were students in stats. Once we were students in stats.